All right, welcome. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get back to doing a show later on today about this Mercy Chinwo versus her former manager situation. But if you haven't seen yesterday's show, make sure you go watch it. Yes, it's very important that you watch it. But I'm going to give you an update on this. Mercy Chinwo has released a statement, and I wanted to just be here and read this out since we kind of covered it yesterday. And then you be the judge. You be the judge. I'm just going to read it and then we'll take it from there. But just keep in mind that I said some things yesterday. I said, hopefully it's not, I think it's bigger than what we were seeing. I did, some light work on the gentleman. But just listen to this, okay? So here's a letter from Mercy Chinwo, the Law Corridor motto, Mercy Chinwo and Mr. Ezekiel, thank God, Eezee T, setting the record straight. We're solicitors to Minister Mercy Chinwo, hereinafter referred to as Minister Mercy. It is with deep concern that we address the recent controversies surrounding Minister Mercy's relationship with Mr. Ezekiel, thank God, Eezee T, her former manager. While we would have preferred to maintain silence on this matter, the severity of the falsehoods being circulated compels us to clarify the facts and set the record straight. General note: contrary to the sensational narratives, Minister Mercy did not initiate any court action case against Mr. Ezekiel, thank God, Eezee T, regarding her music catalog. At no point has she claimed that a 50-50 revenue split from her DSP earnings is unfair. The issues with Mr. Eezee T are, in fact, grave matters that have posed significant threats to her life and cannot be easily exhausted, but she has preferred to remain silent. What were the real issues? Background: Minister Mercy's journey with Eezee T began humbly during her days as Eezee T's backup singer in Port Harcourt. Over time, their work relationship flourished, with Eezee T assuming a local parentee's role, advising and mentoring her. Their relationship was not born out of contract, but beyond. She honors him like a father. He commenced managing her early in 2017, introduced her to his pastor, Pastor Tempo Odoko, and later specifically advised that they sign a management contract on her birthday to remarkably announce their work. He brought the contract and it was easily executed, or happily executed, on September 5, 2017 in Port Harcourt. Note date and place. Now, work relation. The work relation was super cordial. Minister Mercy Excess Love project was recorded in 2017 and it was a major success. Other projects followed. Eezee T put in the work and passion. He talked big on his vision for gospel music in Nigeria and she strongly bought into it. Relocation to Lagos. The grace of God was evident and need to relocate to Lagos became crucial in 2018. He established the structure and they worked with unity and a common vision. Everyone was committed to the organization vision and she was instrumental in ensuring that more gospel ministers, starting with Judy K, joined the organization in early 2019. The turning point: towards the middle and end of 2019, commencing the third year of working with Eezee T, things began to change gradually. They had discussions, as usual, about the organization and her plans. He expressed his intention for her to extend her 5-year contract to 12 years. However, she declined, stating that she has got other plans. Afterwards, she noticed that at any given point or any given opportunity to address any issue, Eezee T would be hostile and make reference to the contract. He started talking tough and repeatedly about the contract, which was not the norm. It was at this point that she realized she needed to have a copy of the contract. As the situation got worse, in 2020, she demanded for her copy of the contract. By the way, her copy of the contract was only given at the end of the contract time on the 23rd of November, 2022. I'm going to continue, okay? But as you can see, there's more personal level stuff to this story. Okay, so by the 4th year, the relationship had become extremely toxic as Minister Mercy started to endure untold verbal and emotional assault that literally affected her person. Eezee T would threaten her with statements like, "I will deal with you. I will mess you up. I made you whom you are. I can shut you up and nobody will hear you again. I will destroy your career, including using the F word, sadly, on different occasions. Extremely hostile, antagonistic, and abusive. Eezee continued to intimidate her, isolating and bullying her, misleading people, inviting her for events about her availability, misleading people, inviting her for events about her availability. When she gets invitations to minister at programs, the management would respond to the invitees that she was not available or that she was sick. In some cases, the management would demand an outrageous fee for her to attend programs in order to frustrate the invitation. One of such heartbreaking incidents involved a church program that had been concluded for her to attend in October 2020. All right. Hosted by a father of faith in Edo State, Reverend Felix Omobode, Eezee suddenly told the host that Minister Mercy could not attend because she had a terminal health problem. She got wind of it and fought back. It became chaos while she threatened it was over and done with the organization. All right. Excuse me. It's a lot. She was threatened with the contract, but she insisted she would go and minister against the management's wish. There were interventions. After much pressure, he claimed the organizers did not make flight arrangements. She said she would attend by any means. He eventually booked the flight. To her surprise, her host came along with a medical team to the airport to receive her, believing she was unwell and may need support. Meanwhile, Minister Mercy also discovered that her ticket and that of Eezee had been long booked by the host. Now, reconciliation. Okay, I posted some other stuff in our backstage yesterday, but though broken, she made efforts at reconciliation. She prayed and had discussions with her spiritual mentor. I posted some stuff with the spiritual mentor yesterday. She decided to make a deliberate effort to restore the good working relationship. She was led to sow a seed to him. She bought a brand new SUV for him as a seed. She made efforts and they tried to achieve a genuine reconciliation. They reconciled, but he was more particular about posting the car on social media to appreciate her. She declined and things got worse. The situation worsened as there was no longer trust. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? I'm thinking something else, but I'm not going to say it. I'll let you guys say it. She lived in tears. She had to narrate her experience to Minister Chioma Jesus, whose intervention led to management returning her call lines to her in December 2021 to manage her program. To manage her program scheduling herself without removing her cost of logistics for travels and remuneration for her team members, which she must pay. She remitted an absolute total 50% of any gift or honorarium with date and evidence to Eezee. If she delayed, he would certainly send a mail. Now, the case of forgery. After her contract had expired on the 5th of September 2022, Minister Mercy was directed to get her copy of the contract from his pastor, Temple Odoko, who has now become their mutual father, spiritual father. And she got her copy November 22, 2022. Shockingly, it turned out that the contract that was signed in 2017 had been replaced with another contract made in 2019. A new contract made in 2019 was altered to seem as if it was a document signed in 2017. Clearly, on the face of the contract, at the front page, the 2019 was altered to 2017 by turning the 9 to a 7 with the pen. However, the commencement page was carelessly reading 2019. Eezee is challenged, in one word, to release the first 3 pages and the execution page of the contract in public. The contract till date has no original, just the photocopy. Now, returning our call lines to her in December 2021 to manage her. Okay, we already covered this part. Let me talk a little bit while we... All right, so I'm thinking something else happened that they're not covering here. They're still trying to protect something, but I believe what they're saying here. But there is more to this story, and there's more that will still come out, because I don't think this guy is going to give up so easily. I think he's going to try to continue to push a narrative that the audience, the general public already know is probably not true, you know. Anyway, after the contract expired on 5th of September 2022, Minister Mercy was directed to get a copy of the contract from his pastor, Temple Odoko, who has now become their mutual father, and she got a copy November 22, 2022. Shockingly, it turned out that the contract that was signed 2000, so we already talked about that. So they are forging, they're changing documents, they're falsifying stuff according to Mercy Chinwo's lawyer. Okay, so, and they're asking for the original contract. No one can find it. They only have copies as far as they could see. Okay, they're asking for the rest of some pages. Some pages still reflected 2019. They forgot to change it. This is all bad, you know. It's all types of bad. All right, so leave your comments. I want to know what you guys think. Again, you might not get the full gist if you don't watch yesterday's video. It's long, but it's good gist and there's a lot of lessons in it. Okay, so other issues. Eezee in the continued onerous act, doctored report received from Symphonic, Africory and YouTube by not declaring the correct revenue split to be paid out to Minister Mercy. He brought documents in the mid-years of the contract that she needs to sign to help recover her revenue from publishing as songwriter. Yet, he falsely listed himself as the writer of all her songs to receive revenues as both writer and producer. He refused to remit her a penny from the publishing revenue for the past 7 years. From inception till date, and Minister Mercy didn't make it an issue. He did not remit his choiced 50% of the digital streams earnings from 2022 to 2024, a complete 2 years. Eezee claimed he has paid her over $600,000. That couldn't have been the reason for the issues. Minister Mercy recorded and released almost 40 songs with him. Whatever he has remitted to her is from the 50% ratio, and she has never complained about the percentage. After the contract, Minister Mercy made significant efforts to record an additional album before the expiration of her contract. She had clear instructions on the songs, wrote them down, and sent a list to Eezee requesting a recording schedule. However, his responses were dismissive, with one reply stating, "Now you dey teach me work now," and another time indicating he was too busy at the time. But I mean, if you go watch yesterday's show, we already kind of like predicted. I try not to be so direct, but it was obvious. You could see my faces. After the original contract, which spanned from 2017 to 2022, it had expired, Eezee insisted that the contract be extended. He justified this by citing the fact that the third album had not been recorded, referencing a questionable contract clause from 2019. Apostle Asalem's Maduboku intervention, that's the other person that posted this thing, attempted to help resolve the matter on several occasions. We were advised to forgive and forget, and we happily did. Eezee was told to remit Minister Mercy's due, and everyone agreed on an independent audit. A neutral auditor was appointed. The audit was about to start when Eezee pulled out and refused to comply further on the excuse that his lawyer was not at the meeting where the audit was agreed upon. The auditor had to resign for lack of cooperation. Having seen the volume of revenue coming, he had to manipulate a new contract, forgery and diversion investigation. At the EFCC investigation panel in 2024, with all parties present and their lawyers, it was established that the sum of $274,000 had been unlawfully retained and diverted by Eezee from digital platform revenues reviewed as at then. Eezee claimed Minister Mercy had asked him to help keep part of the revenue to avoid mismanagement, and that he was holding the remaining to ensure reconciliation before releasing the payment. He stated there was no intention to steal. He was understood or misunderstood, I don't know. The money was recovered peacefully. Okay, Eezee now admitted at the EFCC office for very first time that there were two contracts. The original signed in 2017 and another he introduced 2 years after the actual contract had been signed. He, however, appealed that the matter be settled amicably in peace. He started crying and preached peace. Minister Mercy broke down emotionally, also in tears. Remember, Pastor T was talking about that yesterday's show, right? So but that Baba didn't know what he was talking about. He shouldn't have been chiming in. There was forgiveness and reconciliation. The legal practitioner representing Mr. Eezee T. Dakpo Akinoson, SAN, senior partner of Simons Cooper Partners, admonished that parties should settle as Christian family. Eezee T apologized in tears, and Minister Mercy and reconciliation was encouraged. Parties settled, and the learned Silk encouraged that a settlement agreement be prepared and signed afterward. A draft agreement was prepared and sent to us by the learned Silk representing Eezee T, outlining terms aimed at amicably resolving the matter. After reviewing the draft, we provided our input to address certain terms and awaited the signing of the final settlement agreement. However, upon following up with the learned Silk, the last response remained that we should wait. Court case. Just as we were waiting for Eezee T to finalize the settlement peacefully by signing, we were told that Eezee T had engaged a new lawyer and had now taken the matter to court. Eezee T was the one who filed the court case against Mercy Chinwo and Judy K separately in suit referenced LMDC 924-289. The same Eezee T pushed the false report of Minister Mercy taking him to court for a catalog to mislead the public and draw sentiments or pity to him. Ogao. He filed another suit in court against the EFCC for investigating the allegations. We later heard that he had been charged by fraud by EFCC, a warrant of arrest issued for him to be compelled to appear before the court. Final settlement. Minister Mercy firmly believes that the Lord has settled her and wiped away her tears, reaffirming her position that these issues are not beyond resolution. However, Eezee T should tell the world, as he has been doing, what happened to the 2017 contract. I was asking what happened to the money, but anyway, she signed in the 2017 contract that she signed in Port Harcourt. What happened to it? What is the reason behind the introduction of a new Lagos-based contract in 2019? Why was the document forged? And why has he refused to inform the public about the true state of the two contracts? Minister Mercy deeply appreciates your prayers, love, and continued support during this time. Signed, Balumi Olajengbesi, ESQ, solicitors and attorneys at law to Minister Mercy Chinwo. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Let me hear what you think so far, okay? I'll come back later on if I have time. Cheers.